the Dark podcast.
What's up, everyone? This is Blanca, and you're listening to the Glow in the Dark podcast.
This is Good Little Giants.
You're listening to Glow in the Dark podcast.
Yo, what up? It's Bizzle, and you're listening to the Glow in the Dark podcast.
What's going on, man? It's your boy Tadashi, and you are listening to the Glow in the Dark podcast.
Hey, what up, fam? It's Rob here, Glow in the Dark podcast. I'm usually one behind the camera, but today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about relationships. I'm going to start off with, so I was at the gym the other day, right? And with two of my friends, and my one buddy was talking to my other friend. Pay attention, trying to eliminate names, so it might get a little confusing, but so my one buddy says, hey, you know, I was talking to this girl, we were texting, it seemed like everything was going smooth, right? I felt like she was really into me, solid Christian girl. And then 2 days later, she just stopped replying, she stopped talking to me. I didn't know what was going on, not me, but my friend, right? And so the other buddy that was there, he looked at him, he says, well, let me see your text messages, right? So he hands him his phone, and he's reading through his text messages, and he says, dude, this is your problem. You're too nice. You're too nice when you're talking to these girls. That's your problem. They don't want nice boys. And in my head at that moment, I'm thinking, really, ladies? Like, you stopped talking to him because he was too nice. Whatever happened to chivalry and being a gentleman and complimenting a girl about her faith, about how beautiful she is, etc. But that's gone, right? And my heart kind of sank for a second, because he goes on to say, it's sad, but when you're talking to girls, whoever seems to care the less has the upper hand in talking. But does that make sense to you? To me, it doesn't. And so he goes on to keep telling them, that's why she stopped talking to you. Girls these days, 2016, their minds are so geared towards game, it's not even funny. You have to have game when you're talking to girls. Game talking to girls? Like, what don't you understand about game? If a guy uses game to get with a girl, what do you think your relationship is going to be? It's going to be a game. Why? Because it was based on game from the start. So if a guy's coming up to you and he's talking to you and his words are smoother than creamy peanut butter and he's borderline a poet when he's talking to you on the phone, do you think that's going to last through your entire relationship? No, because what happens with games, they get tiring, they get bored, you get tired of playing that game throughout your relationship. So what happens? There's heartbreak, there's failure in your relationship because it was based on a game, so your relationship was a game. And so he's telling this story, and I'm listening, and I'm thinking to myself, this couldn't get any worse. This is just wrong. Like, ladies, listen to me when I tell you that it's not all about the game that a guy portrays to get with a girl. See, you're more than that. You're better than that. You deserve the best of the best. And a guy that's spitting game at you left and right and talking about, like, his words are like haikus and stuff like that, that's not a real man. You wonder why when you're talking about texting girls and game, when it takes a guy an hour and a half, 2 hours to text you back, it's not because he got busy. Trust me. It's because he's thinking about what he's going to say to you next. What's going to make the most sense? What's going to come off smoother? What's going to make her really, really feel me at this moment? He's not busy. See, I'm here to tell you, ladies and guys, today, that the Bible says that we were created in His image, okay? And God is a perfect being, right? So if we were created in God's image, this perfect being, so that makes you perfect, because we were made in His image. And you deserve nothing but that perfection from a guy that complements your perfection from God above. And see, God is the best matchmaker you could have. See, God, for guys, God's the best wingman. But for ladies, God has something in store for you, way better than that dude that comes up dressed all fly, looking like a G, keeping it real, that's trying to talk to you and get with you. It's not that he's trying to get with you because he likes your personality. He said it best in the gym. It's 2016. Relationships are the last thing on men's minds these days. They don't want relationships, they just want in your pants. And that's what's wrong with society these days. And God's thinking up in heaven, and he's looking down at you guys thinking, what in the world is wrong? But see, he's not going to do anything about it. He's not going to stop you from getting with that player who thinks he's so hard and he's got so much game. He's not going to stop you, because we have this thing called free will. And God's not going to interrupt that free will to tell you, whoa, hold on ladies, he's a player. It's not going to end well. You're going to get your heart broken. He's not going to do that. But he blessed us with this thing called a discerning spirit. And when you're talking about relationships, you got to use that discerning spirit to know this guy's actually going to treat you well. This guy's actually going to treat you right. You just feel so happy inside, like you're at an ease because you know that it's right. And God has that perfect someone set aside for you, just waiting for you to walk past him, or for her to walk past him, or for him to walk past her and connect. God has that perfect someone for you, and you will know. Someone that doesn't need to spit game to hook up with you. Somebody that doesn't have in the back of their mind saying, she's the most beautiful thing ever, and I'm just going to hook up with her for one night, have my fun, and leave. Unfortunately, that's what's on the minds of a lot of guys these days. And you deserve the best. Ladies, you're all beautiful. You are all created in his image. You are all special in your own unique way. And God has someone set aside for you that's going to complement every single one of your unique personalities and love you for who you are and care about you for what you're about, not because of your body or your hair or how deep blue, green, brown your eyes are. That's not what it's all about. See, the reason I got so sick to my stomach in the gym hearing these fellas talk about this is because, see, chivalry is not dead. Chivalry is still very much alive. And ladies, that's what you need to look at in a guy when he comes and he tries to talk to you or get your number. I mean, of course there's going to be that first physical attraction to that person. There has to be some sort of connection, but let God be that connection. Let God be your wingman. Let God play Cupid and bring you guys together. The Bible also says that in this world that there is temptations, and unfortunately when a guy's walking through the mall and he sees a girl that's looking so super fine, he's tempted by her looks. Guys are very visual. That's what attracts guys. Looks. Girls, more mental. And see, I guess that's where this whole text game came from when you're talking to girls from a guy's perspective. Because girls think about things. They let them float around in their head. They think about you, and see, when a guy's talking to a girl, that's his number one goal. I'm going to get inside her head. When she's laying down at night, trying to fall asleep, I'm going to be the only thing that's running through her mind when her head hits her pillow is me. My face flying through her head. Look, seeing me there, picturing me there. What if we got in a relationship? What kind of guy is this? What kind of guy am I talking to? He seemed so cool when I was talking to him. And these thoughts just go through their head. See, from a guy's standpoint, that's their goal, to get inside that girl's head, for those words to play over and over and over again. And so he thinks of those right words that draws your attention, to get into your head. Block all that stuff out, ladies. Block it out. Because a guy that you want to be in a relationship with is, get this, a godly man. A man that puts God first. See, we're called glow in the dark because God is the light unto our feet. We are supposed to be different. We are supposed to be the light unto others. We are supposed to glow in a dark world. So for all you Christian guys out there who are caught up in the same game that the ladies like to hear and like to see in their text messages, is wrong, because like I said before, God's going to bring you guys together. And us conforming to this world and saying, I'm not going to care about this girl, I'm just going to text her and seem like I don't care to get into her head, to make her think about me, I'm going to act mysterious. No, that's wrong. Be a gentleman. Be chivalrous. Open her door for her. When she's texting you and you're really feeling her, tell her she's beautiful. Look for a girl that's just as strong in her faith as you are. Because see, if you're in a relationship with a girl and this guy, right, and they're both Christians, but one doesn't have the same equal faith as the other, there's going to be a fallout. See, the goal to a relationship should be to keep God the center of everything, to keep God the center of your relationship, because where God is the center, it's going to work. You got to keep yourself spiritually strong. The key to a godly relationship is to build each other up in their faith, in their spirit. And nowadays, in 2016, that's not the case. And fellas, now I'm going to talk to you. It's not all about a girl's looks. It's not all about how she carries herself when she's with her friends in the mall. Looks fade, guys. 50 years down the road, she might be this... She could change, man. She could change. And she's not going to look the same that she did 50 years ago when you first seen her walking in the mall with her friends. That's why it's not about looks. That's why it's about God. And that's why you need to keep God the center of your relationship. There's a thing called being in an unequally yoked relationship. And let me touch base about that real quick. An unequally yoked relationship is whenever you have a Christian girl or a Christian guy in a relationship with a non-Christian girl or a non-Christian guy. And see, that's the thing, it don't mix. It's like oil and water. See, how are you supposed to stay physically, spiritually, mentally strong in your faith if you're the Christian, if you're dating somebody that's not, and all they want in that relationship is your body? See, it's easier to pull somebody off the table than it is to pull somebody up onto the table. That's why it's so important to be in an equally yoked relationship, two Christians. Because see, when God created us, and He created us in His image, He created us because He was lonely. He created us because He wanted us to spread the good news about Him, to spread His name. So when you come together, when two Christians come together in a relationship, their number one goal should be is to minister, to be a light into others, to carry that name, to praise Jesus with that relationship. Why? Because He ultimately brought you guys together. And when you're the light, God's on your side. See, the Bible says that when you're in sin, He turns His face from you. God can't look in sin. So when you're in an unequally yoked relationship, do you think that relationship's blessed? Do you think God's keeping His eye on that relationship? Do you think He's cradling you, even though you might think He is? He's not, because you're not serving God in your relationship. You're not being as strong as you should be. And I'm going to tell you guys another story that kind of hit home with me. And I'm telling you guys about all this because it hit super home with me, because I used to be that guy. I used to be that guy that was so focused on everything that was worldly about a relationship that I just kind of kicked God off to the side. God, you don't matter. There's so many fine honeys out there. Which is true. But there's somebody special for everybody. And I used to be all about that text game. I used to be all about, what should I say to get with this girl? What words would best make sense in this situation? I'd study that girl. I'd know what she liked to do. I'd ask her questions and then I'd elaborate on it. I'd act like we have so much in common, but really we didn't. We were from two different worlds. But see, in her head, she didn't know that, because I was fronting. I was putting on a game. And when you're fronting, your true colors come out eventually. And that's where the relationship goes awry. But see, when you're focusing on that godly relationship, everything's on the table. Everything's right in front of you because you have that discerning spirit. And you could judge that person, and you could use that discerning spirit to understand that person. Because what could go wrong when God brings you guys together, when God meshes you guys together in a relationship, and when it's God-centered, you're not going to have any of this growing apart, but you're going to grow closer, and you're going to grow closer with God, and you're going to start realizing that these worldly things don't matter anymore. Why? Because you're truly happy. You're truly happy with who you're with, and true happiness can only come from above. And that's the point that I want to make to you guys today, is keep your eyes open. Don't jump from one relationship to another because you feel lonely. Don't feel like you have to be in a relationship with somebody for your days to go right, to have somebody constantly talking to you on the phone, somebody that when you wake up in the morning you have to text good morning. See, that's what's wrong with society today. You focus on waking up in the morning, and the first thing that hits your mind is that girl or that guy. See, the first thing that should be on your mind when you wake up in the morning is God. The first thing you should do when you wake up in the morning is get on your knees. God, I pray that I have a blessed day today, that you are on the front of my mind through everything that I do today, that you guide my feet, that you are a lampstand unto my path, and that you give me favor with man today as I take this journey of life, that you fill my heart and my mind with a godly wisdom, and you put the right people in front of me today to keep me on that straight and narrow. Not how cute your good morning text is going to be, even though that's fun, even though it's exciting, even though that's what everybody wants, is that special someone that when you're walking down through the mall, you can hold their hand and have everybody looking at you jealous because you guys look so good together. But that's not it. That's not true happiness. You got to be happy, and you got to be strong in yourself alone before God will bring you somebody else. Fellas, you are the leader of that relationship. You are to be the strong spiritual leader of a relationship. It's biblical. That's why God created Adam first, and Eve came from Adam, because Adam was the leader. Adam was supposed to be spiritually strong, and Adam was supposed to support Eve. That's the guy's role. Not that women aren't just as important, because guys, you got to show the women respect. Their opinions matter in a relationship. You got to be in 100% agreement with everything that you do. But how was God supposed to bring you that special someone if in the morning you don't have enough discipline to wake up in the morning and pray for your day, to ask God to guide you? When you get home from work, to do your devotions, to build yourself up spiritually, to stay strong. Because if you can't focus on him 100%, you're not going to be able to focus on her 100%. And I feel like this topic is so relevant nowadays because unequally yoked relationships are so hard to find. Christian relationships are so hard to find nowadays without going on the internet and dating websites and Christian Mingle, for crying out loud. Even when you go to church, there's so many lukewarm Christians. You go to church and you see this girl. Yes, I met this girl in church. She's going to be a Christian. She's going to be on fire for God. She's going to love him. She's going to care about him. She's going to walk the walk. But guess where she was the night before? Guess where she was on Saturday night? She was at the bar, grinding up on some dude that she barely met. And that's sad, because nobody these days wants to put God first, because this world weighs so heavy on us. But guess what? Pick up your sword. Put on the full armor of God. And when you put on the full armor of God and you're strong in your faith and you build up your spirit, then you build up that discerning spirit to be able to discern what girl is right for you or what guy is wrong for you. Enough of this experimenting, ladies. Enough of this experimenting, fellas. Because who needs experiments when God already handpicked that special someone for you? That's all it is. Be patient. Focus on yourself. Be strong. Solo. S-O-L-O. That's what you gotta be until you're strong enough to be with somebody else. And so that's all I got for you guys today. I hope that you guys were able to understand and take to heart what I'm trying to tell you guys, and you understand. For more videos, you can check us out on www.glowinthedarkpodcast.com. My name's Rob. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Just type in Glow in the Dark Podcast on YouTube and our videos will pop up. We do interviews with Christian artists. We got Tadashi, Blanca, the Cimarelli sisters. They're on there. Please check us out. Give us a shout out. We'll holla at you later.